I'm fine with it. I mean, I answered to just about anything. Asked my wife. So Godfather worked great for me. It adds certain level of gravity to the position.
You're listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Each week, we'll feature voices and ideas that need to be amplified in the higher education and pro AV IT communities. This show is brought to you by higherEdAV.com. And now here's your host, Ryan Gray.
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in again to the AV-IT Amplifier. As always, my name is Ryan Gray, and I am your host. And if it is Wednesday, you know your feed has been refreshed with new content, and this Wednesday is no exception. I introduce it the same way, even though there's been some rough Wednesdays recently, but we're keeping it going, and I'm pumped today. If you're watching, you'll see I'm standing. I'm at my standing desk because this is a high-energy thing, like somebody I've been looking forward to talking to, and what a great excuse to finally just do it. So we are back. Mr. BC Hatchett, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. Would you remind everybody who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, Ron. Honored to be on here. Thanks for having me. My name is BC Hatchett. I'm the Director of Classroom Technology for Vanderbilt University, and also the other co-founder of HETMA, the Higher Education Technology Managers Alliance. So again, Ron, thanks for having me on, man. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you. You're somebody that there's places and times when we're on a lot of meetings together and times where it just doesn't happen when things are busy.
I know.
Somebody I like hanging out with and miss talking with. And so having this on my calendar for Friday morning has been keeping me going all week.
I know it's been, I've been looking on Friday every day, not just because it's Friday, but it's like, finally I get to talk to Ryan for an extended amount of time outside of a hotel at 2:00 in the morning after we finish working a trade show or an event.
Yeah, looking at each other going, okay, did everybody make it back tonight? Is everybody good?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Are your feet still working? Mine quit working a long time ago. The voice is starting to quit working. So
yeah, exactly. And no, it's amongst all the things that are going on our campuses, it's awesome to have a calendar item like this with somebody that you just get to close out everything else for a little while and chat.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the do not disturb on, so unless something catches on fire, I'm locked in.
Well, this is a great way to start an episode. Here's the thing. Everybody just start your own podcast. It doesn't matter if you put it out or not.
No.
It will make you block time to just talk with somebody.
It's an excuse to have a not meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, good to see you. So, there's a couple of things on the agenda, but I have to start at the top. You remind everybody you're as one of the co-founders of HETMA. I've been attempting for a couple of years now to get the term Godfather of HETMA or Godfather attached for you. So how do you feel about that moniker?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I answered to just about anything. Asked my wife. So Godfather worked great for me. It adds certain level of gravity to
that's what I'm saying.
So.
And I just like in that place of like, I'm the guy who kind of just looking over everything, step in when something's needed, help out where everything, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody is kind of like, I don't know, like the quiet, silent killer mentor for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no,
and
that's been one of the things I've enjoyed most about kind of, I guess, stepping out of the active vice chair role and into the emeriti role is, one of the things we always talk about is the proof of a successful organization is how it continues on once you step back from a role of leadership. And if nothing else, HETMA has just continued to grow and roll. So, I mean, it's been nice being able to step back and, say, hey, look, we're going to see how the folks run with it. And then, still have that opportunity and time to step in whenever, additional help is needed. But, that part's been extremely rewarding.
Yeah, you've really inhabited, like it's been a great example of kind of the difference between a manager and a leader, you know what I'm saying? And being able to step out of a management role of it into a leadership role, right? Where you're giving advice and serving as an example and then crashing in when people need help, and so that's been really cool. One of the challenges that can come up in situations like that is like, as you turn things over, be it, you get promoted at work and a department you used to lead is now somebody else, or like this with HETMA, or, something you volunteered in. When new people step in, they remake it in their image a little bit. How has that been for you in terms of, what you envisioned HETMA being kind of from the beginning to watching other people just sort of pick up the reins and put their own mark on it.
No, it's great. I love it, actually. I mean, it's one of those things where, you run into it at work all the time. You can't think of everything. Like, you don't have enough brain power to physically and mentally think of everything. So if you can build the groundwork and then turn it over to folks that are also super smart and experienced and let them start thinking of things, then it gets better. It gets better. Now, it also is hard because you're like, no, you need to do it this way. You're not, you do it that way. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, they're doing it their way and it's continuing to work, if not even work better. So it just sometimes shutting up and getting out of the way is a great way to do things.
Yeah, that's great advice for everybody out there. It can be a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. I mean, letting go of something that you've worked on and worked on building, it's hard to do.
Yeah, and it's like there's like a self-acceptance you need to watch other people improve on something in a way. I've been going through a lot of that, the last couple of years with having somebody, kind of take over our AV integration group that does all that work that I was in for so long, and really get to the point of being like, oh God, yeah, no, they're doing it better than I did. But it being a little, because they got to build on, like I built on what my predecessor did. They're now building on what I did. And, being able to be like, yeah, no, it's good to turn these things over and let multiple people come through on it. So I just appreciate the grace that you've shown in kind of that process with HETMA.
Oh, of course. That's always been the end game.
So, all right, let's then. Other general question. It's a tough time. A lot going on. Vanderbilt, how you doing?
Tired.
Doing all right.
My tired is tired. So
yeah.
But it's part of it. I mean, we joke around. I mean, I've been at Vandy almost 20 years now. And we had summers back when I worked over at the law school where it was, playing phase 10 some days because there's literally nothing going on. We're not upgrading 20, 30 rooms or anything. We're hanging out, kind of decompressing and getting that time in. And that doesn't exist anymore. And that's not just a Vanderbilt thing. I think that's a higher ed thing in general. Like there are no dead periods anymore.
I was
talking with Troy this past weekend and Troy Powers, and he was like, we're on the quarter system, so we might have a week or two off before things get kicked up again. Like, how in the hell do you get stuff done? He goes, we don't. He's
right.
Like, yeah, it's very, very quick if we do. So,
yeah, we're not to interject, we're in the process of switching over basically everything to 8 weeks here from 16 weeks, and so really getting more to that quarters, putting in a fall break and. But yeah, it shortens the summer for projects. It really makes you have to work quicker, be more nimble, and I think everybody is in this place of like needing to do more with the same or even do more with less in terms of people and budget and stuff like that. So I know if anybody had this answer, they would, take over the world, but any thoughts or advice for folks out there kind of living that reality these days? You're tired is tired, but what's keeping you, sane and operational?
Just knowing that it has to get done and doing it. Like that's always the hardest part. It's like you can just sit around, and I'm very guilty of it. Sometimes I just sit around and I'm like, God, I don't want to do any of this stuff. And then it just continues to build and build. But once you start chipping away at something, it kind of improves your morale because you're seeing progress be completed. And then you're also, freeing up bandwidth to work on other stuff because you're finally putting one thing behind you. So just keep focused on it and do it.
One foot in front of the other.
Yeah. And always, it goes back to that old Shel Silverstein poem. I can't remember the exact poem, but I always remember the illustration of the girl that tried to eat the whale. And how did she do it? One bite at a time. That kind of stuck with me since I was a kid. Is just, it might look huge, but if you compartmentalize it and break it down into its constituent parts and just work on those parts, it'll eventually get done.
Yeah, big project. Like I do the same thing when I have a deliverable that's on my plate that feels like, when am I ever going to have time to do this? All you got to do is open the first file, write the first sentence, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Draw the first line, and your brain will flip over to that. And we're back. That was funny. I literally hit stop in the middle. But the best part is I hit stop in the middle of me saying something, which is good because people didn't come to hear me. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, what did I touch? My mouse and keyboard are way out of the way. I was like, what did?
No, that was literally. It's like I said. It's early in the morning. We're just getting her. We're just getting her going. Okay, so switching gears now. One more thing, as if we haven't been all over the place so far. This calendar year has been like my biggest travel one in a long time. It's kind of crazy. And so but the cool thing is, so in my United Airlines app, there's only 2 trips left for the year.
Nice.
But the next one is to Nashville.
I know.
And I'm pumped about it. So what is going on in Nashville that I would have that next on my flight agenda?
We have this little thing called the HETMA Roadshow taking place on October 27th here at Vanderbilt's campus. So still planning out some of the program, but we're going to have a lot of great vendors here to kind of talk and meet with. We'll do a bit of a campus tour. I know classes are going on, so that always makes scheduling things a challenge. But my goal is to get everybody over to see our new building. It's called Garland Hall. We just did a complete renovation of it. It was one of our buildings in what we call the historic core on the main part of campus. And they gutted it down to the studs, removed all the asbestos, so finally got it nice and cleaned out. And then built onto it. So it's one of the favorite things they like to do around here is build onto buildings, but they keep the exterior of the old building as part of the interior of the new.
Nice.
So it really makes it a really cool architectural feature. And then we've just updated everything to go along with it.
That's awesome. That's that's cool to see. And two, one of the things I love about road shows is the campus tours and being able to really walk with colleagues and see other campuses, kind of with your own eyes. And Vanderbilt, I've never been to Nashville. I've never been to Vanderbilt.
You've never been to Nashville?
I've never been there in my life. I'm pumped about it.
You're coming at a good time, man. Nashville is it's a booming city now. Like it used to be just a few honky tonks on Broadway and some dive bars, and now I think it's what I've heard, it's almost as visited as Las Vegas at this point.
Yeah, for sure. It's I mean, it not only does it have that vibe and the music vibe, but definitely like a destination, a destination place and a vibrant thing. So, okay, if folks haven't been to a HETMA roadshow, why do we do them, and what should people expect to experience on that day in Nashville?
I always like to think of them as not so much a formal conference, but just a way to meet up with your colleagues in the area that you may not have had to, or even meet up with colleagues that are outside of your area. Like if you can't make it to an InfoComm, if you can't make it to an NW Med or anything like that, it's a free event to just come out and meet with your colleagues. And then see some different classrooms. You might get some ideas or share some ideas with us. I mean, there's a million ways to skin this AV cat, and we, by talking and meeting, we kind of come up with those new ideas and new theories and new practices.
Yeah, and getting to, I know how fortunate I am that I kind of, for a couple of reasons, get the luxury to kind of travel and go to national or international events and that sort of thing. But that's just not in the cards for everybody. No. So if to have these kind of regional events that are not just AV events, but higher ed focused AV events where the exhibitors that are there are they're ready to talk to you about what you're working on, and it's on a campus. It's got, our stuff at it and make it a drivable thing for people in a whole area to come into.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it's since it's smaller and a little more compact, how it is when you go to an InfoComm or something, you get 5 minutes with your rep at the booth and you're doing a flyby tour and, here's this, and this, and let's talk when this is all over with. And then, of course, you get back and projects kick up and classes start back and you never actually get to have those conversations. But now if there's a vendor here and you see something you want, you'll have that time to engage with them, talk it out a little bit further, get demos arranged, get site tours arranged. It's a great way to get a lot of business done in a short amount of time in a pretty informal environment.
Yeah, it's targeted. It's
Yeah.
so well targeted, and yeah, that the opportunity to have the whole conversation instead of part of the conversation, and we'll follow up on it.
Yeah.
But really do the whole thing. So nice. Well, besides, we know we're going to have some exhibitors. We know that some campus tours. What else do you think people can expect on the day?
Right now, that's kind of the main thing that we've got planned. We're still kind of working out a few other things that I don't want to pull the curtain back too much and overpromise and underdeliver. But
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time. If nothing else, we get to hang out together. And then I know that evening we're going to be doing a happy hour at a venue to be named later, somewhere downtown in Broadway, so we can carry on those conversations and have a little bit of fun at the same time.
Nice. So we get the social part, we get the work part, we get the exposure, we get the technology, we get a little of everything. And that is
In one day.
Monday, October something
27th.
27th. Monday, October 27th. All right. This would probably be as good a time as any. Did you save a table for Hired AV Media at the show?
Yeah, we can get you a table.
All right.
I'll get you a table.
Give me a table. We'll be there. We can do. It's fun. We did. I got to do live recording at Chicago. I had a couple planned, but the rain situation got a little crazy, so we didn't get to do them all. But yeah, you want to it'll be great to do some recordings there with people in person.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? So
that's right.
I've got all.
Troy did have a flood while he was.
We.
On his.
If you haven't, I did. If anybody wants to go back, I can't remember which month it is, but my column, community connections column, I sort of showed some pictures of what ended up. This one's inside, right?
Yes, this one will be inside. This one will be inside.
That's a good idea. I like that plan. Let's do it inside.
And it's October in Nashville, so I mean, it's going to either be 90 degrees and sunny, or it'll be 40 degrees and rainy. I mean, it's
windy,
layers. Layers are going to be your key thing for Nashville in October.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Coming out early to help set up, and it's going to be great. It's going to be cool. Cool. All right. And then obviously that date was the date and location isn't just wasn't just a coincidence. Yeah. So how did we end up with this as a date and time for a roadshow?
Well, we have EDUCAUSE coming to Nashville this year, which we're all really, really excited when they announced the location, because normally it's Denver, Chicago, New York, like much bigger, bigger metropolitan cities. But I guess it's a testament to how Nashville's kind of one of those now, that they're bringing EDUCAUSE to Nashville. So that takes place, I think, starts on the 28th and runs through the 30th.
Yeah, the main 3 days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that week right after. So, yeah, kind of co-locating it. It gives the opportunity for people that are traveling into that national conference to participate alongside local people, that are coming in for the roadshow. So
exactly,
we're pumped about it.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Not to make it an EDUCAUSE commercial, but I'm going to. So if there are listeners who are hearing EDUCAUSE, I've heard of that before. What is EDUCAUSE, and why does that word tend to come up in like higher ed circles?
Well, I mean, EDUCAUSE, to me, it's kind of like the Gartner of higher ed, right? It's the place to go for educational insights on how institutions are doing all things, not just AV, but instructional technology, learning theory, things like that. And then the EDUCAUSE conference kind of brings all those together in one show. And there is a little bit of an AV component to that. I know they're trying to expand upon that and make it a bigger presence. And that's kind of where we come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, EDUCAUSE, if you're listening, you work in higher AV and you don't know of it, first go to educause.edu and check it out. What you'll see is, basically every higher ed institution in the country is a member of it one way or another. They have a lot of resources. They're also the ones that get to choose and hand out who gets .edu addresses. So it's, kind of a really big association. And it covers a lot of bases, but they are definitely working to, there's a lot of great content in ed tech, instructional, in learning design, and a lot of great content in leadership.
Yes.
Technology leadership, campus leadership, and then all the way into networking technologies and security and kind of all of the things that are going on. And they're really trying to fill in kind of that AV part and have it link, that it all linked together with the learning design and things like that as part of, this big conference, which at our last meeting, they said they're trending towards this being the largest one ever.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting
That
given
is.
the challenge with travel and budgets that people have had. So we're kind of curious. We were talking about how to kind of determine how and why that was. If it's more like, well, if I can only go to one thing and I'm in higher ed, is this the one thing that everybody chose, or what does that look like? So, 9,000 some people they're looking at.
That's a lot. That's really impressive on their end. I'm really excited about that. But like you said, I mean, it ties in a lot of different disciplines. I mean, we go to our infocoms and stuff like that, and that's still all primarily AV, but this does marry in a lot of the learning design. I remember the first EduCalls I went to was the first time I had heard of FlexSpace and the learning space rating system, and that's where I got introduced into that. So I was like, oh wow! So they have it's more than just projectors and stuff. It's how the rooms are laid out best for instruction, like what's going to meet the instructor's needs the most.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now HETMA's always been connected somewhat to EduCause. We've always had a presence at their conference, and there's been some things back and forth, but we're definitely stepping it up this year a little bit. So is there anything, Mr. Godfather, that you can share about what HETMA might be up to at this year's EduCause beyond hosting a road show the day before it starts? So
I know that we're bringing our ever popular show floor tour to EduCause this year, and I believe Ryan, you're leading that effort. To get the spotlight back on you. No, I mean that's kind of one of the best things that we do is that curated experience of knowing what to see on the show floor, and it's especially useful for first timers. And I'm thinking that if we've got 9,000 folks coming to EduCause, there are going to be quite a few first timers coming along with that, and it's really a great way to maximize your show floor time and also be able to fit in the time for all those extremely informative sessions that they're going to be having.
Yeah, absolutely. And the EduCause is one of those, like Infocom is, first a trade show with education and stuff on the side of it. EduCause is a little more the other way around, where it's first and foremost a large conference. There's lots of content, usually pretty big names in the general sessions, known, speakers and stuff, and then lots and lots of breakout sessions, and then poster sessions also. I'll take a look for 2 poster sessions from your friends at Yavapai College, including one that I'll be there talking about the most awesome building that's ever been built at a community college. But that's neither here nor there. But they really are like trying to build up kind of the interactive nature of the exhibit hall, because, exposure to the technology and the offerings there is important. So they've built it with like social areas in 3 neighborhoods. There's a security neighborhood, enterprise IT neighborhood, and then a teaching and learning neighborhood. And so HETMA's going to be posted up and stationed kind of in that central part of the teaching and learning neighborhood to try and bring that like a home to go to while you're there. You're at this big conference and you feel like you don't know anybody. Like you're going to know people there, and you've got a place sort of like what we try and do with our booth at Infocom.
Yeah, because that's the thing we always hear the most about Infocom is, wow, higher ed actually does have a place to hang out, and people can mix and mingle around there and just kind of commiserate with their more focused colleagues. And I think it's fantastic that EduCause wants to replicate that experience and drive it forward as well, because I mean that is a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know this is a half hour goes by really fast, especially when you just stop recording in the middle of one of them. But there's just, like you said, there's so much going on and so many things. But like, I just love that our community is coming to you this time, and we get to come, see your place, see where you survive every day. And if you're listening and you haven't ever considered EduCause, it's It's a registration fee. It ain't free. It's a thing, but it is really, I guarantee your CIO knows what it is. And so the fact that, if you're in AV and you really want the opportunity to look for a last minute place to not only get connected with your AV colleagues and get great technology exposure, but also broaden your experience and hear content, geared for all those people you're working with on campus every day. It's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, you will absolutely leave EDUCAUSE with a lot of great new knowledge. Like, I mean, you can't help but to go there and learn something.
I agree. Okay, so if BC, if folks wanted to get connected with you, learn more about you and what you do, find out how to get registered for the road show or anything else going on over there, what's the best way for them to go about doing those things?
Many different ways. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm also on X, Twitter. It still feels weird calling it X. It's always been Twitter. At BC Hatchett there. They can also email me. HETMA related stuff is bc.hatchett@hetma.org, and any educational related stuff, it's bc.hatchett@vanderbilt.edu.
Cool. And we'll put the registration link for the roadshow in the show notes. So everybody do that. And once again, what is the price to register for the roadshow?
It is that exorbitant price of nothing whatsoever.
All right. So yeah,
price.
Get signed up, get all the info, and come meet us there. Come hang with us in Nashville. So BC, thank you so much for the time to talk about all these things that are going on, and thank you for all the time behind the scenes you're putting in to organize an event like this. I know it is not nothing.
Ryan, it is always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you for listening to the AV IT Amplifier. Tune in next week for more with today's guest. It'll be great or your money back. Your host has been Ryan Gray. He's on the tweeters at Ryan_A_Gray, or find him on LinkedIn to connect. Please subscribe and give the show a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of our respective institutions, employers, or sponsors. Everyone hang in there, go easy, and we'll be back next week.